Hi everyone. Okay, just a quick stream because I've got lunch soon. So I realized yesterday that, or last night, I sent myself an email, which I often do when I get ideas not at the computer. I realized I hadn't cleared the bullets yet when I changed screen. So for example, if I start firing and drop off the screen, you'll see that the bullets carry on. Maybe that's not very clear. In theory they carry on. Let's try it over here. So if I shoot left and go off the screen, yeah, you can still see them when I've traveled to the other screen. So I just need to do a very simple thing, which is copy clear bullets and paste it into my init room thing. Okay, so just test this. Oh, I nearly died then. So shoot, go off the screen, they're gone. Yeah, that's good. Particles, got to kill them out. Just realised because I think I saw one of the exploding particles. So what did I call the list? Particle. Okay. Oh, I haven't made a clear particles function. Also, I actually watched one of my streams yesterday and I realised that probably this code here, which manually clears the particles or sprites, is probably overkill, and it looked like just going particle equals that does work. So yeah, I think for now I'm just going to leave this the same. Particle. Just check this works. So yeah, just clearing everything. Yeah, I mean it's hard to test that, but so what I think I'm going to do though is go to clear enemies and just test this properly. Enemies equals that, so that should clear the table of enemies. Oh, it didn't work. You can see it's just creating more and more. Okay, so that doesn't work. My code does work. Fine. So the next piece of code is create an exit that wins the game with a screen. So I mean a screen that says, you know, well done, you've won the game or something. So first off, I've got to create a sort of exit block. So let's go to the sprite editor. I could use the same gold as I did for the starting block and just sort of check the room you're in. Maybe feels a bit weird, but set a flag for it, or just copy that. Let's just copy it. Set a flag there. These dots, by the way, in Pico-8 are flags, and you can query them. So the first dot I've got means it's solid. On this thing here, which is destructible, the second dot means it's solid and destructible. So I'm using this last dot here just to mean it's the exit, basically. So if I was to get the first room and put in like that, this is the exit block. I do wonder if I should make it look different, but this will be okay, I think, for now. Then we can test if you've collided with an exit block. Though admittedly you ought to have to land on it rather than just collide with it, but let's just collide with it first and make sure it works. So player class, move player, the problem is I'm always sort of testing. Yeah, maybe we can do it when it moves down, so you have to have settled down onto it. So this is when it drops down and it prevents you from dropping. What I can do is just test under the player Yeah, either corner pixel, I guess. It might be nice just to test directly in the middle of the player, so you're sort of landed on it solidly. We'll do it here actually. Yeah, let's just do it here. So actually, I don't think I don't just want pixel solid. I need a special piece of code to test the square beneath it. Have I got a different? Yeah, I need to do a different piece of code now, which gets the ID of the map square under the player. So where's my generic code? Here we go. Map solid. Test of a map square solid. Just bear with me while I figure this out. I think I might use the players versus scenery code. Bullets versus scenery, I mean. Test X and test Y. Yeah, I just wonder actually, I'm just looking at this. Bullets versus scenery. Local block. I've just realised that this code might be broken. I'm just going to have to go back to my drop-in code and comment this out at the moment. Okay, yeah, sorry, I was just looking at this and realising that I'm using mget, which gets a block from the map, and I haven't taken into account the room here. So this is testing if a pixel is solid, which I know I have made work with. Where is it? Down here. Oh, it's the wrong bit of code. Pixel solid. Yeah, I am using the correct stuff with mget, but I'm going to need to do this here because I've said test X, test Y. So that's only looking on the current screen, I believe. I think I'm going to just test this. I think it works in the first room, and it probably works in this room because those blocks are solid in the first room as well. But if I put a unique block in, let's just move the map down. If I put some unique block where is not, whoops, let's clear that, where it's not in the first room. So where would be not in the first room? Something like here. Then I don't think the bullet impacts are going to work on that properly. Oh, they do. Okay. Oh, it's because it's not destructible. Right. Yeah, look, see? Doesn't know it's destructible. So that was a bug, which I would have found later anyway, but I just suddenly, when testing, but I suddenly realised. So, where the hell was I? Here. Yeah, so this has to say get room X plus that, get room Y plus that. Basically, I can't use mget without checking the room. And then there's mset. Yeah, this actually clears the block when it's destroyed. So I'm going to have to use the same code here. Yesterday when I did the room code, I didn't do a proper sort of search for all the code, the uses of mget and mset. I might just do a bit more here. Look, mget What's Control G to find the next one? There isn't one. Okay. M set. There's that one, and that's it. There won't be anything in the sprite class. Probably nothing in the enemy class. It was just this general function. So mget1, 2, and those both use get room. So should work now. Yeah. That's sorted. Okay, well, I don't have to clear that off the room at the moment, that's fine. Okay, so what was I doing? Solid objects. Exit goal, I mean. So where were we? In the player code, I commented something out. I should have used this technique I use before in my other code, where if I say I leave 3 dashes, that's where I was, and let's say I was cruising off somewhere else in the code, I can then search for 3 dashes and it will find where I was. So that's kind of easier than scrolling up and down when the code gets a bit big. So yeah, what do I want to do? I want to check underneath the player what the ID is. I think I want a function for that. So I want to say local ID equals get, I can just use mget yeah, I'll just do it direct. Mget, so I want get room x plus player x. I'm going to turn this into a function. Map solid, right. Function get might call it mget room. Get a map block, or they call it cell in Pico-8. Get a map cell from the correct room based on pixel coordinates. Yeah, so we want x, y passed in. End. Okay, so just going to return it basically. Return, annoyance. Return get room x plus x comma. This is a function. Copy paste. Okay, so that will get the block based on the correct room. I probably should have used this in other places in the code, and if this wasn't a game jam game, maybe I'd go through the code and update where I've used this with this instead. So, but we get to trial it here. So ID equals that. We pass in player x comma player y. So this is just like using the plain mget, but now it works with rooms. Okay. I need to think about the coordinates. I want player y plus player dot height, and I'm going to do plus player dot width over 2. So it's the middle of the player at the bottom. Yeah, and we want to see what that ID is. If ID equals, in fact we don't even care about the ID, it's the, we'll just check the flag. So if fget, just the function that lets us check flags, ID, pass it in, and then actually I need to open up the resource document, just bear with me. Utils. I think my lunch is ready. I'll just see if I can sort this first. Fget. So I'm looking this up in the documentation file. Okay. So fget value of a sprite's flag index. V is a boolean Right. Yeah, so the flag is 7, it's the last one. If that is true, then what? What was I doing? End the game, basically. For now, I'm going to set my debug value to 1, and then we can see if it works. It doesn't work. Okay. Guess that was to be expected at first. Let's debug output the ID. In fact, it should be sort of showing a value whenever I land on anything. So it falls down. Player X plus the width over 2, player Y plus player height. Let's just add 1 to that, just in case. Doesn't work. That's kind of weird. So maybe there's something wrong with get room. Get room X plus the X passed in. Oh, Christ. Divided by 8. Okay. Yeah, so it says 21, and what does that say? 1. Yeah, that means it's going to the correct piece of debug code, this one. Fine, so it works. So that works, and when you've done that, we need to change screens. So we need some kind of general values. I don't know, I've got room. I'm going to have screen equals 0, which is the game screen. I should probably comment this. 1 equals game beat or whatever. I don't know. It's not game over. What would you call that screen? Game 1. Well, probably later on I'll do a game over. So 2 equals game over, maybe. So the game will init on screen 0. And you know what, I didn't do my special dash 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 technique. Right, it seems like it's my lunch, I've got to go. But I'm going to put here screen equals 1. Yeah, and then I think I'm just going to sort of immediately do this sort of thing where I'll finish this off properly later, but basically in the main code, draw all of this stuff can basically be if screen equals 0, then go like this, else if screen equals 1, then end if end. Let's just fill it with a different color so we can see that something is happening. Probably nothing will draw, but also the logic I need to sort as well. So I better do this. I mean, it's possible I might want particles on another screen, but else if screen equals 1. I've realized I've failed on that front again. Always catches me out. Then basically for now do nothing, but I'll put something else in there later. Just probably a key press or something. For each particle, what's this? What have I missed? Then. Okay. So when I go on this block, oh crap, I died. Doesn't work. Oh, it did work. Maybe it's really fussy. That's kind of weird. Oh, it doesn't work if you slide across on it. It's only if you go down onto it. Okay. So I ought to fix that. Here it was. So this, I've only done it when you drop down. Also, yeah, it should be player height, not player height plus 1. Um, let's just put it here. Test for end block. Oops. What level beat block? Just try. So if I slide across, it works. Yep. If I drop, oh, Christ, if I drop down onto it, it works. Fine. It won't work if you're slightly off, but that's okay. Fine. That'll do for now. I'll be back later. Thanks for watching.